Steph, we need to talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. You just hate to see me have fun. Oh, yeah, Steph, that's real bright. The first thing on my mind when I wake up is, how can I make Steph miserable today? So you admit it. Oh, you're losing it. No, did you just... You don't understand. You can't just get in the car with somebody...
Guys, take it easy. Whatever this is about, it can wait, okay? Steph, I just got off the phone with Gia's mom. Gia was in a car accident tonight.
No.
Yeah.
Is she okay?
Well, she got some bumps and some bruises, and she's going to be in the hospital overnight.
Oh, my God.
She was with two other guys, and one of them broke his leg and got cut up pretty badly. They were really lucky they were wearing their seatbelts. The car was totaled.
I can't believe it.
Didn't you say something about going out with Gia tonight?
Well, yeah. But when Gia showed up with those guys, Steph decided not to go.
Really? Steph, that showed incredibly good judgment. You have any idea how proud of you I am right now, honey?
Probably too proud.
Oh, never. Yeah, Gia's mom said she wanted her to take it easy. You can call her tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Good night, sweetheart.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look. Everywhere you look.
What up, universe?
Okay.
I am Patrick M. Dunn, and you are on a very special pod cast. What's our Twitter handle?
At Very Podcast.
So it's at the symbol, not the letter, like the word at, though, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
the symbol.
Why did we pick that? I forget. It was available.
Because everything else was too long
So you
and
just
or taken already. So I was like, at Very Podcast.
special podcast was unavailable.
Yeah, it was. I think anything that made sense was taken besides Very Podcast.
You couldn't do like an acronym.
It was taken.
AVS podcast was taken. What about AVSP podcast? So that would be like ATM machine, like automated teller machine. A very special podcast.
No, there were a bunch that were just taken.
All right, if you say so.
Okay, just a warning. Don't freak out if my door suddenly opens and somebody walks in.
Are you expecting like a stranger?
Oh no, Aaron.
Oh, okay. Now I'm like nervous. A door's gonna open up.
I don't know when he's gonna come home, but
All right. So anyway, as I said, I'm Patrick M. Dunn. You might remember me from previous eps, and I'm joined here by Kat Halstead.
what up?
She's been around since episode 1. We haven't had any guests. It's just been the two of us, and we've been just yentering up. Yenta-ing... I don't even know how to... Am I saying it right? Yenta-ing it up?
I don't think it's used that way.
So, if this is your first time... this is your first time listening to the podcast, we are in 2 remote sections of the country. I'm in Boston, and she is in Minnesota?
Yeah, I'm in Minnesota.
I almost just said Milwaukee for some reason.
I am definitely not in Milwaukee.
And we watch TV shows, then we black out and talk about them on a podcast.
Pretty much.
That's a good summary of it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the basics.
And we try to air them in order as we record them, but sometimes some episodes are more blackout-y than others. For example, we did the other night a 3-hour episode solely devoted to the Burbs, and we probably talked about the Burbs for maybe like a half hour tops.
Maybe.
So I don't know when that one will be up, but it's coming up. I might even just throw it out like with the bathroom breaks and everything.
With the bathroom breaks? I don't think you should do it with the bathroom breaks.
All right.
I think you should cut those out, maybe.
All right. I think it's kind of fun when you just throw it up as is and just only cut out obvious things we remember. But we, as I said, if you're new, we have a lot of recurring gags. We ask Google questions through whatever like the Google Siri is. I don't know what the name is.
It's Google.
Just called Google.
Yeah, Google doesn't want to be known by anything else.
Okay.
I asked.
And we also talk about Jared Leto a lot.
Yeah, I don't know how that actually happened, but we talk about Jared Leto a lot.
And we talk about dead people that have the same name as us.
Okay, that's it, mister.
All right, so those are our recurring gags. And as I said, we pick a new show or a movie or a music video or whatever else we can come across. This week, though, we decided to go back to the 90s. Well, have we ever done anything from the 90s, to be honest with you? Oh, we did like Roseanne and like Home Improvement and shit. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, you really don't remember what we've done, do you?
Well, I said this is the podcast where we watch TV, black out, and then talk about it. And I think I'm doing the blacking out part first.
I think you are.
So we went with, if you haven't read the description or the episode title, we went with Full House this week.
Yes.
America's favorite family, I guess. That's probably The Simpsons, right?
Yeah, I think it's The Simpsons.
Yeah.
They're still kicking.
I wouldn't call the Full House fam America's favorite. I mean, they're up there, I guess. But
yeah, they're up there. They're still like on every night at Nick at Night, and they do better than some TV shows
that are like
ratings wise,
like first run shows.
Yeah.
And we decided to do a late in the series episode. We did season 8.
Mm-hmm.
Episode number I don't have in front of me. I'm sure you got it.
Episode 9.
Stephanie's Wild Ride.
Oh my god, it's so cheesy.
So, to quickly summarize, then we'll kind of go through it. This is the episode where Stephanie and Gia meet some like older boys, and the older boys convince them to go on like a cool car ride through like highways and byways and stuff, and they're doing things like they're playing like chicken with like Mack trucks and crazy things like that. So
they're speeding, playing chicken, driving wild like through tunnels and stuff.
And so Stephanie
just generally being stupid.
Pretty much. So Stephanie Tanner's the middle child. She kind of has that like middle child syndrome,
big time.
Because Michelle is like the cutest, and she's destined for fame. And the older sister, DJ, she's just kind of she's like the older sister, so she's kind of like motherly because their mother died in a car accident, I believe.
Yes, the mother was killed in a drunk driving accident by a drunk driver. Before
the show started. The first episode doesn't deal with like all that. We're already in the middle of things, I believe.
Yeah, the first episode is Danny's mother is leaving because she's been helping Danny with the girls for like the first couple months after the mother died. And so, Danny's got to figure out what to do. What was that?
I just dropped something off my desk. Did you hear it?
Oh, God. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Sound like someone banging on your door.
I hope not.
So the mother is gone. Danny's mom is leaving. She's been helping out. Danny had to like come up with some sort of plan to be able to take care of his kids and do his job. And he decided, what would be great to have the girls' Uncle Jesse and my best friend Joey move in, and they can help me out.
And Uncle Jesse is like the brother of the mom, right? I believe. Okay.
He's the younger brother of the mom.
And then Joey's just kind of like Danny Tanner's goofy friend.
Yeah, he's Danny's best friend.
Okay, and he's like
like childhood.
he's a comedian or like a
Yes.
voiceover. I don't know. He does something weird.
He's a stand-up comedian who then goes into advertising and then has a children's show.
And he's an awful stand-up
radio
comedian on
show.
the show. He's just horrible.
So
So if you don't know the show, so Danny Tanner is played by Bob Saget, who has like a very clean cut image in this series. He's like the like very kind of a strict dad. He really like pays attention to his kids. He doesn't really let them do much outside of the house, really, I guess. Very close with like the family friends, and in real life, Bob Saget's like kind of like he's like a dirty comedian.
yeah, super dirty comedian.
So it's a strange contrast when you grow up with Full House and you just think of Bob Saget as this nerdy older guy, and then you like see a stand-up special with him, and you're like, what the fuck? It's like
You're
finding
like, holy crap! What did I just witness?
yeah, it's like you found out your dad was like having an affair or something. Like it's just like shocking. You're like, I've been deceived my whole life.
Well, did you watch the Lifetime movie about Full House?
No, so you're gonna have to fill me in on the details.
Okay. So it was less cringeworthy than the Saved by the Bell one. And I think that's because Saved by the Bell had Dustin Diamond as its like main
Narrator.
character. Yeah. He was like the one talking about it, and you're just like, Dustin, you're just a douchebag. Like, fuck you, Dustin.
Doesn't Dustin?
And like there were things that just didn't make sense timeline wise. I'm like, that makes no sense. Like, no.
Didn't in the
But
Saved by the Bell like behind the scenes movie they had Dustin Diamond do that like Zach Morris thing where he talks to the camera?
Yeah, it was really weird. It was so creepy. It was just no. And you're kind of like, okay, if Dustin got ostracized by the rest of the cast, it's because he was an asshole.
He was a douchebag.
Yeah. But with the Full House one, everybody gets along. It was like the show. There was like nothing really that scandalous going on. Nobody was doing drugs backstage. Nobody was having affairs. Like, seriously, the most scandalous thing really is probably Bob Saget cursing and telling dirty jokes in front of the kids.
That's it.
And the unrequited love between Lori Loughlin and John Stamos.
Well,
How they're never single at the same time, but they're so madly in love with each other. It was ridiculous.
so the cast like still like hangs out like regularly, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They still hang out. They're doing another show together called Fuller House, which will focus on EJ as a single mother to 2 boys and Kimmy as a single mother to 1 daughter. And they live together in a house with Stephanie.
Oh.
And like the rest of the cast pops in once in a while, except for the Olsen twins, because the Olsen twins are like, screw that, we've got Fashion Week to deal with.
Yeah, I believe they
Bye, guys.
retired from acting though, the Olsen twins.
Yeah, they don't act, they've got their fashion line, and that's what they do.
They got billions to count.
Yeah, they don't need to do anything, to be honest.
It's kind of ironic because, you know, when the show came out, they were like 4 or 5, and they weren't
Not even, they were younger than that.
Okay, well, I mean, like when the show ended was what I was really getting at. So when the show ended, they were like 5 or 6 maybe, but they weren't like
They were at least 9.
they were that old.
Yeah, if the show, because they weren't like born during the show's run. If it went to 8 seasons, they were about a year old when the show started.
Okay, you might be right.
And it went 8 seasons, they'd have to be at least 9.
Well, they're still very young, but they're not like the megastars that they eventually became. They just kind of did.
They're
like,
on that cusp, though.
Yeah,
They were on that cusp because they had all the videos. They had the TV movies already because they had the To Grandmother's House We Go Christmas movie. They had the Double Toil and Trouble Halloween movie they did. They had like the We Can Solve Any Crime by Dinner Time video cassettes you could get at the video store to rent and all kinds of stuff already.
See, I think the direct-to-video things was like a huge favor, like did a huge favor for them because my sister must have had like 40 of them. Like she was like
there was a lot of them. I was just past that age of like really being that into the Olsens, but those tapes were insanely popular. And then they went and they did 2 more TV series. They did a bunch of like direct-to-video ABC Family kind of movies. And then they actually did 2 movies that got released in theaters.
And then by that point they were like, all right, we have like $1 trillion.
Yeah, and they have fashion lines and makeup lines and yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't even know what they do besides like go to like Lakers games with their boyfriends.
They have a fashion line. I couldn't tell you a piece from it, but apparently they still have a fashion line.
Like where do you buy the clothes? Like Kohl's? Like
I don't know. Let's find out. That's what the world is here for, at our fingertips.
That's way too much. I don't want to be like, you know how like Google like stores your history forever?
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be like, in the summer of 2015, Patrick Dunn was looking up Olsen Twin fashion line.
Apparently like J.C. Penney's?
Okay. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And then there's a younger Olsen sister who's like now like a actress.
Yes, Elizabeth.
She's in like the Avengers and stuff like that.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch.
I almost said Scarlett Johansson.
No, isn't that the actress that plays
the Black
Natasha,
Widow?
the Black
Yeah.
Widow?
That is true. So, the rest of the cast kind of were in and out of show business a bit, because, like, John Stamos kind of pops up here and there and things.
Yeah, he's got a new show coming out in, like, a couple weeks on Fox. By the time this episode's up, it'll have premiered.
Oh, yeah, probably. Lori Loughlin's, like, is like, always plays the mom and things.
Yeah, she's on she's on a Hallmark Channel show, I think.
DJ, I believe, is controversial.
She is a brand new co-host on The View.
And doesn't she get in trouble?
She'll be starring Fuller House.
She has like weird political stance and kind of says things.
She is a conservative and a Christian, and she's not as far gone as we would say her brother Kirk is. She's not making Left Behind movies or anything like that.
I believe she blocked me on Twitter.
Really?
I think so.
What did you say to her?
I don't know.
I can't even imagine what you could have said to her
What's
to
her
get
name?
blocked.
Candace Bure.
Candace Cameron Bure.
Well, what's her? Candace C. Bure. Yeah, I'm blocked.
Wow, what did you say?
I don't know. It's been a while. I don't remember. I was like the second commenter on something, and then it was just like I went back to read it, and it was I couldn't read it anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
I think the only people who have me blocked on Twitter is a network executive from ABC and some guy from Big Brother. Oh, and an actor on General Hospital.
What are you harassing celebrities?
Okay, so the actor on General Hospital, he is a total douchebag. He's always trying to scam fans out of money, either through making them pay for chats for him to answer your questions, or selling opportunities to join a pyramid scheme.
What's his name?
And I called him out on Ryan Craig. And I called him out on that. I was like, you're scamming fans, and that's not cool because of your position. So he blocked me.
Oh, do you know his Twitter handle?
Ryan_Craig.
Oh.
It's Brian with a Y.
Oh, Brian. I said Ryan.
So.
He kind of looks like a douchebag.
Yeah, he threatened to break a fan's fingers.
Oh, really? He plays
On Twitter, yeah.
Morgan on General Hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, he has an Instagram, too. He was in Vegas 18 hours ago. Cool for him.
Fun.
Oh, yeah, and he's hanging out with a bunch of bros.
Oh, God, it's probably his bachelor party.
Oh, was he getting married?
Yeah. But, yeah, so... I don't know what you could have said to get blocked by Candace Cameron.
I don't know. I can always go back. I think it goes back like a year or two, so... Twitter's like a hard thing to like find things on that you said in the past.
Oh, yeah, I tried to find something earlier. I was like, how do people find tweets from like 3 years ago to favorite, but I can't find anything?
Like, the you know, like the, like, let's say like an actress tweeted something like 4 years ago and like Gawker will find it. I'm always like, is there someone just going through every tweet all day long?
They have to be. They have to have like some poor intern sits there and goes through every single tweet to find something.
And they're like, all right, find like the most vile thing you can find this person has ever tweeted. And then it's always like out of context too.
Yeah, like that guy from who's hosting The Daily Show. He's going to start hosting The Daily Show.
Oh,
they went back like 4 or 5 years to find something on him.
And then I saw one, there was like a guy that just joined like SNL and he is joining the season and like he was calling like a woman a bitch or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know how they find that.
That's the
I'm like,
internet
I
for
could
you.
barely get through my tweets from last week. Then again, I don't think most celebrities tweet as much as I do, and I tweet a lot.
That's why you got to do a podcast, because no one listens to them and you can just say whatever the fuck you want. You can make fun of Candace Cameron Bure all you want. Unless, like, this is like a tag word and she, like, gets bored one day and is like, you know what, I think I'm going to listen to this and see what it's like. And I don't know. So, if
Well, I would feel bad, though, if her kids came across this, so...
I'm not
Sorry,
worried about
kids.
them. I don't know them. I don't even know their names, so... Sorry,
either.
Candy. Can I call you Candy?
I don't think she would like that at all.
And then there's Jodie Sweetin. We forgot about Jodie Sweetin, who like grew up to be like a meth
Jodie
head.
Sweetin.
Didn't she like live in a trailer park at one point? And
She had all kinds of problems. She's on like her 3rd marriage or something, and she's our age.
yeah, she was like married when she was like 18 or 19, like the first time.
Yeah, she's been married like several times. There was a meth addiction in there somewhere. Issues with like custody of one of her kids or something. She's had a messy life.
But she got her teeth back. Her teeth are back, and now she's back on TV, sort of, in a Netflix show. But
That premieres in the spring 2016.
But before we get to Stephanie's wild adult life, we're going to learn all about her wild preteen life in tonight's episode, Stephanie's Wild Ride. So I believe the episode opens up with like a cold open involving the young Nikki and Alex, who are Rebecca's twins, and Uncle Joey, or just regular Joey. He's not
No,
Uncle
don't
Joey.
call him Uncle Joey. Nobody ever called him Uncle Joey. Every single time I see somebody call Uncle Joey, I'm like, they never once called him Uncle Joey. Find me the episode. They called him Uncle Joey.
I'll find it.
It for me, because it never happened. They never called him Uncle Joey. He was Joey.
Just Joey.
Kind of my problem when it comes to Full House is people calling him Uncle Joey because they never called him Uncle Joey.
All right. So it's Nikki and Alex and just Joey. Just Joey. They're
And Mr. Woodchuck. You
In
can't
fucking-
forget Mr. Woodchuck.
Oh, God, I hated that woodchuck. And you don't.
How could you hate Mr. Woodchuck? All he wanted to do was talk about wood.
And made like obnoxious wood puns.
Oh my god, that's awful. It's like even the kids are doing it, and these poor kids probably don't understand what they're even saying.
They don't even know they're on TV.
They probably did. They were probably like, okay, we get to go play with the guy with the puppet today.
They just thought they were over that weird guy's house that doesn't really look like a house that has an audience and like a bunch of lights.
They didn't know what was going on. Let's be real.
And why is this weird lady making us call her mom?
Yeah. And what's up with the weird guy who says he's our dad?
So I'm watching the cold open and I was like, oh god, I don't know if I can get through this episode. I was like, this was a horrible mistake to pick this as the episode to watch. But it very quickly comes back and they make up for it because now, after the theme song, we are now at the mall, I believe, right?
No. We're not at the mall yet. We're back in the living room and it's Michelle playing the video game with the twins.
Oh yeah, the B
storyline.
All right, so like the B storyline is that Michelle has like she's playing a Super Nintendo game with this gigantic joystick that's like the size of like 4 MacBook Pros.
What did I say it was called? Because I looked it up.
The Super Nintendo Advantage joystick or something like that.
Something like that.
I know what it was. You could buy it. It was just like a.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo Super Advantage joystick.
It basically you had those people that like wanted that arcade feeling to when they played video games because they wanted to like put their hand on it and then have like the joystick and then the big ass buttons to like mash on. Yeah. But if you're someone like me who liked to just sit down and had small fingers, you just preferred like the controller it came with, like the regular Super Nintendo controller. But it's funny though, the game that they're playing, it just like the sound effects it makes are just way too sophisticated for like a video game of that time.
It just sounds like what they thought they were seeing on the TV sounded way more sophisticated than you would see in like 1994 or whatever.
Yeah, because like back then, video games didn't really have like talking sounds in it or anything like that. And if they did, they were really like computerized and like fake sounding. So
robotic, like Vicky from Small Wonder.
Not even that good. It was like they that like format that they use like MIDI like MIDIs or something.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
That's basically like the effects of video game music because they didn't have like the storage space in those fucking bulky cartridges that.
Yeah. That we would blow on, even though that apparently did nothing to help them.
Yeah, that was very heartbreaking to find out that had no effect whatsoever. Because
I know, because everybody blew on them.
I believed it did.
And something happened after you blew on them.
It worked.
What? Yeah.
Or I used to have to put my Nintendo upside down, like for its. I don't know. That was the only way it worked. I don't know. You would spend like a half hour just to get like a game working.
Yeah, I think I remember because I didn't play with the Nintendo very often because it was my brother's. But I remember like we would blow on them and maybe like shake them or something.
Yes, you shaked it
like you would with a toner cartridge. But yeah.
And then like you would get the game going and then like it would freeze on you. Because, like, someone would walk by and, like, they would step too, like, hard on the ground and, like, the floor would vibrate so the machine would, like, jostle free. And then, you were, like, level 7 in Mario about to beat the game.
Yeah.
I remember.
And they didn't have, like, memory cards back then, did they?
No, like, you pretty much had, like, unless it was a game that had, like, sometimes they had, like, passwords that you had to write down. Like, but a few games did have, like, memory cartridges in, like, Legends of Zelda had one in there. And there was, like, a battery pack inside the game that was, like, always on.
Okay.
And I think there was a few other games that were like that. But those were, like, the expensive games because they had that battery pack in there. And then, I don't know, then they came out with, like, memory cards and games just had the, like, hard drives that just had the ability to save and store data.
Yeah, I swear every time we put on the Xbox, it has to, like, update the memory card. And it's like, oh my god. Let me play the game.
Yeah.
By the time you're ready, I'm not going to want to play with the Kinect anymore.
You're just like, fuck, I just want to play Wheel of Fortune. So anyway,
pretty much, that's what I would have played.
Yeah. So
I played, like, Duck Hunt. That's all I ever played was Duck Hunt.
Oh, the light gun?
Yeah.
And I always wanted to shoot the
That's all
dog,
I
but
ever
you never had, like, you couldn't shoot the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I'm sure in the new version you can.
Was
But, so, Michelle is...
there a new version?
Nah, I'm sure there is.
Huh.
So, Michelle's, like, having a hard time with this game that she's playing. Like, she can't... There's, like, a level she can't get by. I don't know, she's trying to find a key or something. And I believe she grabs, like, Uncle Jesse comes in, right? And
Yeah, it's Uncle Jesse comes in, and he's like, oh, well, you're being too polite because she's knocking, she's ringing the bell, and he's like, you just gotta barge in. Get to the key, so.
yeah. And I couldn't figure out, like, the concept of the game because they kind of, like, they didn't show the screen. They just kind of, like, narrated it aloud for the audience.
Yeah, I think the concept of the game was to collect, like, 3 keys so you could unlock something. Because they didn't really explain the concept. You had to kind of, like, figure it out.
But there was, like, there was animals involved, and they just kept bringing things up, like magic carpets, and...
Yeah, it was just... There was no way this game really existed, because it was just too ridiculous.
Like, well, the writers were probably, like, in their 40s, and they weren't of, like, a video game era, so they just kind of just talked about what they thought video games were like.
Exactly.
So we have that whole storyline going on, but then we kind of like very swiftly kick over to the mall, and Stephanie and Gia are in the food court. They're just kind of like eating their like fries or something. I don't know. They're munching on something.
It's like frozen yogurt or something.
Is it? So I believe. All right. So Gia is a character they brought in late in the series. She's kind of like the bad girl.
Yeah.
She, like, smokes cigarettes. She, like, talks back to parents. She's just mean to Steph.
She's basically there to get Stephanie into trouble and to teach Stephanie lessons.
Like, in real life, you don't, like, understand, like, why they would be friends either.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, this was about the time, this season's probably about the time I stopped watching Full House, like, in new episodes.
Yeah, because
it just seemed done. Like, how many times could they do stuff? Because you got to the point where Stephanie is older than DJ was when the show started. So really, how many times can you do the lesson that you did with DJ again with Stephanie?
And have it be like,
you know, or the lessons that they did with Stephanie with Michelle now, and the stuff you did with Michelle with the twins. It was just like, no, let's move on.
And like. They were kind of, like, trying to move, like, Stephanie into, like a bad girl position, but she would only go, like, so far and then come back.
Yeah, she never really did anything that bad that I remember.
Well, I
could be wrong.
She was just, like, an accomplice, basically. Like,
yeah, she was always, like, the accomplice. She didn't tell Gia no, but she might still be there when something happened.
But I never understood, like, what Gia got out of this friendship, though.
Stephanie's probably the only one who put up with her shit.
Hey, you could be right.
Like, why did Gia have no other friends? Because nobody else put up with her shit.
She was a bitch. She's just...
Or everybody else was already not allowed to hang out with her.
She was a liability, too.
Mm-hmm.
Major liability. So, they're at the mall. They're probably, like, 13 or 14, maybe?
Yeah.
Like, they're, like, 7th or 8th grade is probably the age they're at. And in the food court, they bump into these 2 dudes. I believe Jason was the name of one of them.
And yes, Jason was the name of one of them. I don't remember the other guy's name, and I didn't write it down.
They were, like, sophomores, I think, right? Or, like, juniors in high school?
Yeah, they were high school sophomores.
Okay. They were 16, and... Stephanie and Gia pretended they were 16 also, but that they went to a different school.
Yeah.
They went to like a private school.
In San Francisco, there's probably multiple schools in that town, so you're not going to know everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's like 40 public schools, like just in the area they lived. But Stephanie and Gia are like, no, we go to private school, and DJ and Kimmy are like. Also at the mall, and they see this going on?
Yeah, they're like, hey, girls! And the guys are like, wait, you go to our school. And Kimmy and DJ are like, oh yeah, you were the guys who drilled the peephole in the locker room. And they're like, yeah, Kimmy, you're the reason we stopped using it. And she's like, it works both ways, pimple butt. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. This scene, for some reason, I have remembered that part of this episode for decades.
Pimple butt?
Like, I could never have told you what episode it was in. I just remember that there was a peephole, that Kimmy saw somebody's pimple-covered butt.
And that's all she saw.
I don't know why that stuck with me for 20-something years, but it did.
Do we know the original air date of this episode?
No.
I bet you it's
But
20 years. I bet we're coming up on the
it's probably been
20th.
about 20 years.
We definitely going to be coming up on the 20th anniversary of this, or like the 21st.
Yeah.
Like it had to have been a long ass time since this episode is.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I feel like it just aired like yesterday. Just yesterday, Kimmy was calling
Probably.
two bros pimple butt.
It aired like 21 years ago. Oh.
Are you just saying that, or did you actually find the air date?
I can tell you the exact date if you want.
That's what I want to know.
November 29th, 1994.
So this was like a post-Thanksgiving episode. So they probably like the week before there was like the Thanksgiving Day one. And then this is like the one
I don't think so, looking at the title.
Who knows? Well, they weren't. This is their final season, so like episodes probably aired erratically at this point because they were just trying to get like.
Yeah, they're kind of like they didn't do holidays anymore, except they did a Christmas one this year. The one the week before is Danny and Gia's mom started dating.
Oh shit! I don't think I remember.
And
that
Michelle was so not here for it.
Yeah, because actually Gia had like a big role in like the last season. I feel like she was like in every episode.
She's in a few. She's in a few of the descriptions, that's for sure.
They tried to make her like Stephanie's Kimmy.
Probably.
She just didn't get like she wasn't in like the opening credits or anything, but
no, she wasn't. I think actually the episode we're doing is like the last one where she's mentioned in the synopsis. That I can see.
No, she's definitely in episodes following this though, I know. Like, I'm pretty sure she was in it to the
She's
blood
in. She's for sure in one more episode.
And then it was like, all right, the world's had enough of Gia.
Yeah.
So, anyways, these two dudes at the mall, they offer Stephanie and Gia like a ride home.
Yeah, because it's totally smart to get in the car with guys you have never met until like 15 minutes before. Totally brilliant idea.
But they have cool haircuts. They have cool like 1994, 1995-ish haircuts.
Yes.
And
they got the cool baggy clothes, and then they have a freaking cool ass car.
They have like a convertible.
A blue convertible.
That is fast.
Mm-hmm.
And as we...
Of course it is.
Like, Stephanie was a little nervous, though, like, at first.
Yeah.
She, like, because, like, they were, like, probably going, like, 100 miles per hour down the boulevard. Going through tunnels, as I said, playing chicken with Mack trucks and, like, erratic driving. And Stephanie's, like, all nervous. And then...
Yeah, somebody gets nervous, but the way it was cut, you don't see the nervousness half the time because they're just so kind of like just chill in the back seat. Like you forget that like 10 seconds later she is freaking out. Okay, I am a very nervous car passenger since I was in a car accident myself years ago. Like if I'm not used to the person driving and they're doing something a little wild, I am not nervous for a second and then totally fine the next second. I'm like tense the entire ride. So I found it really weird that Steph was like totally freaking out and then totally fine. Totally freaking out and totally fine.
Well, it's all Gia's fault because Gia's an enabler.
Yes, Gia is very much an enabler.
She's just kind of like, Steph, fucking relax. like, just smoke a cigarette with me right now. We're in a car.
Let's have a close cigarette because we're not that bad of a kid.
We're in a car with two boys.
They think we're 16.
They're older. They can probably get into clubs.
Try and be cool.
They can get into clubs.
What clubs can you get into at 16?
I don't know, but I feel like that's like a plot line that's always on these like teen dramas. Is like, I'm really surprised I didn't go to a club in this episode. Do you think there's an episode of Full House where like Stephanie and Gia try to go to a club, or does DJ ever try to go to a club?
I want to say yes. Actually, I think Jesse, because Jesse got the Smash Club when the owner died. He like inherited it, and I think he turned it into a teen club. So.
But that was because I remember I was like recently just rewatching an episode of 90210, and Brenda goes to like a club. She's like 16 or whatever, and they make it seem like so scandalous. It's like, oh my god, she's going to a club. Like, it's a fucking club. Yeah. Like,
what even like what's really the difference between a club and the bar? Like, really, what's the difference?
There isn't a difference, no. But for some reason, like, when you're like 13 or 14 years old, there's this like weird stigma like over a club. Like, you like, I want to go to a club.
Yeah.
It's so like adult. But in your mind, adults like 17, so you're like, oh, there's like 17-year-olds.
Yeah, 17, 18, you're like, yeah, I'm an adult, and I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, we're going to the club tonight. It's an 18-plus club.
It's college night at the bar. Woo!
Yeah. They don't even check IDs.
Oh my god.
Did you have those kind of clubs in Colorado?
That didn't check IDs?
Yeah.
No.
No, you didn't have like.
Of course, I didn't actually like try to go to a club until I was like 20, because it just wasn't like my scene.
But you didn't get like curious and was like, you know, I want to see what this club scene's all about, because I've seen it in like every teen drama I've ever watched in my life.
No, because I didn't drink or anything until I was like right at that point. So
you can still go.
I was a good kid.
You can still go and ask for like a tonic water.
Yeah.
And pretend.
But like it just like I went to when I was in college, there was one bar that on Tuesday nights had college night, and that was the night everybody went out.
So you just needed like a college ID to get in?
Yeah, you just need a college ID. They would there were people they wouldn't let in if they didn't have a college ID. It was so weird.
Yeah, like you could have been like 19 and got in because you had a college ID.
Yeah.
Because down here, Providence in Rhode Island, it's only like like 45 minutes away. It's like the same amount of distance as away like Boston is, but for some reason on like Thursday nights, they like a lot of clubs and bars in Providence did the same thing, where it's just like all you needed was a college ID. So I just remember being like 19 years old and having like a college ID and getting in, and then one of our friends was 21, but he didn't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to get a fake college ID just so he can get into it, even though he was actually like old enough to go to the bar. And the bouncer was like staring at it, like, and studying at the fake college ID for like so long, and you're just like, this is wrong. Like there's something wrong with this like scenario right here. Like the
bar we went to, like it depended on the bouncer, like how strict they were about the college ID.
Yeah, like a lot of these places were like mob run though, so it just really didn't matter.
Oh.
But then
I don't think we had that problem in Southwest Colorado.
But then like there was like a really bad car accident one night. I guess like some like 18 or 19-year-olds just like drove home drunk and just like they all died or killed some, I don't remember. Something like crazy happened, so then it was like shut down after that point. So it's all fun and games until someone dies, and then you can't. Then they cancel college.
I don't think there is I don't know if where I went to college even has a place that does college night.
Yeah, I think college night's like a late 90s, early 2000s kind of thing.
Yeah, well, like the bars there, the bar that did it closed down. Oh God, 8 years ago.
The Smash Club.
That's not what it was called. It's close to what it was called, though.
Do you think?
Yeah. So
Do you think Stephanie and
What?
Gia's boyfriends could have gotten into this club that you went to on college night?
no,
Even if they had a
No.
fake college ID, or did they look too young?
no way.
No, they couldn't get in. Why not? Too California looking.
They look way too young.
Yeah, but they're Californian, so like they always everyone looks young in California.
See, that would have made them sketchier if they had like California ID.
Well, they could have gone to college in California, and then you could be from
They
California.
just
and go
happen to be
college
in town for the
Colorado.
week.
California.
Yeah, they
week.
could.
Could be California night at the college club. Bring your California IDs. So Stephanie has this wild ride that she's nervous about at first, but G is the enabler, and she's like pumped, and she's like throwing her arms up, and they're
Yeah,
all
the
like,
adrenaline has kicked in, and she's like, "Yeah, this is cool. I feel the need for speed." Woo!
they throw their hands up and they say things like "need for speed" and "hit the pedal to the metal" or like "to the max."
They're total woo girls at this point. They are
Yeah.
woo girls without the alcohol.
They're wooing, and then the car drops them off at home, and Stephanie walks back in the house, and DJ's in the kitchen, right, like cooking dinner, because
Yeah, DJ's setting the table. The grown-ups are like, all the grown-ups have now taken control of the game,
yeah, now
and
we're
Michelle's sitting on the couch like just pissed off because she just wants to play this game. All she wanted was like a little help, maybe an idea on how to get to the key the first time, but Uncle Jesse, Joey, her father, Aunt Becky have all taken over the game.
and they're like fighting over it at this point too. They're like arguing
Yeah,
over
they're
that
fighting
gigantic
over
controller.
it. DJ's like, "You guys, you're coming to dinner. I don't want to eat alone."
So DJ set the table. She's in the kitchen. Stephanie comes like bombing in. She's excited. She's like, "Deej, I just had the greatest afternoon." And DJ's like, "What happened?" She's like, "You know those two kids that we saw at the mall? Well, one of them owns a car, and then we went on this like wild ride through like the suburbs of San Francisco. I don't know. They were somewhere." And DJ's like,
Yeah, just through like San Francisco.
DJ's like, "Oh God, like you need to like be careful." And she's like, "Dude, what are you, like my mom now?" And DJ should be like, "Actually, yeah, like."
Yeah,
I kinda
kind
am.
of technically.
And
I am the
then
big sister.
does Gia pop by, or does she call? And something. Gia comes back into this.
Well, first they have dinner. Well, first, if anyone knows she's late, and DJ's like, "Go look," and then you see all the grown-ups like playing the video game,
Looking like zombies.
and then the grown-ups, like all the adults come and they have dinner, and they like scarf it down, like have five to eat, or their food's gonna get taken away from them. Stephanie and DJ have not even finished putting the food out on the table, and they're like, "Done, done. We gotta go back and play this video game."
And they
They're just,
definitely
like, so absorbed with it.
they definitely like sped up the tape. Like they filmed it and then like sped up the tape so it looked like they were like eating really fast, but it was just like fast motion. So now like DJ and Steph are cleaning, right? They're I don't know, I guess picking up at this point.
Well, I think they're taking like use plates away, and they were gonna sit down to eat because they haven't even sat down to eat yet. And Gia calls. Gia comes with the boys,
She like
and she's all like, "Come on, Steph, we're gonna go with the boys now." And it's dark out, totally sketchy situation.
and like Steph's like about to go, and then DJ gives her that look, and she's like, "You need to ask
Yeah,
Dad."
DJ's like, "You are not going. You are not going." She tries to take her purse and her jacket, and Steph's like, "Fine, I'll leave without them." She's like, "What are you going to do, DJ?" And DJ goes to the kitchen door, and she pops it open like a couple of inches, and she goes, "Dad!" And Stephanie's like, "Fuck. Fine, I go. You win, DJ. You're ruining my life, DJ." And Gia leaves.
Gia leaves. Gia rolls her eyes at DJ, heads outside. Stephanie
Yeah.
like stomps through the kitchen. She like, "I hate you, DJ. I wish you were never born," kind of moment. and she goes up into her
Yeah.
room. She probably like collapses in her bed and like is crying and like kicking the wall and stuff like that and like throwing shit around. And she's highly, highly depressed because she didn't go out on this like 2-hour joyride at like 7 o'clock at night in November
Yeah.
or December or whatever month it was. Actually, it gets dark early in December, so it was probably like 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Not even that late. And then, so now we're back downstairs, and Michelle is pissed because they're still playing the video game. All she wanted to do was just play the video game. She didn't, so she unplugs. Oh no, she pulls the cartridge right out of the
Yeah, she just
system.
pulls the cartridge right out while they're playing, and they're like, "What are you doing? How dare you, Michelle?"
And then we get that weird heart-to-heart moment where Michelle's like, all I wanted was your help, and you all took over and just like ruined my night. And then every adult realized like every horrible mistake they've made in the last 4 hours, like in that span of like
they're
10 seconds.
Okay, we have taken over this video game. Yeah, Becky grabs the twins and a book. She's like, "Come on, guys, let's go read."
Let's go read and hug
guys
each
are
other. Then there's like a big group hug. The music gets like kind of
Yeah.
soft. And Uncle Jesse's like, "Thank you, Michelle, for like making me realize that we're not a slave to video games." And Michelle's like, "You got it, dude." And then she goes right back to the game.
As soon as all the grown-ups are gone, she puts the cartridge back in, goes to the joystick, and starts playing. She's like happy as clam. Comet, the dog, puts his paw on the controller, and she's like,
Yes.
not happening, dog.
Yeah, she's like, "I know
Don't
what to
even
do now."
try it with me.
And then Comet stampers out.
Yeah.
Then we cut up to upstairs and like, I don't know, it must be like hours later.
I don't think it's that. Yeah, it had to have been some time later.
Like a short period of time
Like,
later.
DJ's given Stephanie some time to cool off, and she's gonna go up there, talk to her, and Stephanie's like, "You just hate to see me have fun," and DJ's like, "No, that's not it. It's dangerous." And then Danny comes in, and he's like, "Whatever you're fighting about can wait." And he goes, "Stephanie, I just got off the phone with Gia's mom, and she called to tell me that Gia was in a car accident. She's okay, just some scrapes and bruises, but she's staying in the hospital overnight. The car was totaled. One of the boys broke his leg, but they're all alive because they had their seatbelts on. Hey, when are you gonna go out with Gia tonight?" And then DJ covers for Stephanie, like, she was until she saw that Gia was with these boys she didn't know with a car, and Stephanie decided to stay home.
And
Danny's all like, "I'm so proud of you, Stephanie. You made the right choice.
then they hug.
I'll
They
see you
hug.
girls later."
There's a big group hug again.
Of course. There's always group hug, especially when Danny's involved.
Danny leaves the room, and then Steph's like, "I can't believe you did that for me, DJ." She's like, "You're the best. I'm sorry that I said you wish you were never born."
And then DJ tells Stephanie about how when she was 13, she and Kimmy stayed out all night on Halloween by telling Danny that DJ was staying at Kimmy and Kimmy's mom that Kimmy was staying at DJ. And they spent all night walking around San Francisco, hitchhiking to Berkeley.
I wonder what they did.
And how,
I wonder if they went to a club that night.
I don't know, like, what do you do all night in San Francisco when you were 13? Like,
You can do whatever the
Can
hell
you
you
do
want. Because you are in
I
San
guess so.
Francisco.
I guess so. I haven't been to San Francisco, so I don't know.
Did you ever do that thing where you pretended you slept over at somebody's house but you really didn't? Did you ever pull that one on anyone?
Oh, I was a kid.
I never did that either.
That
But
and I didn't like to spend the night at other people's houses.
I never did that either. But I didn't really have a curfew, or it was kind of weird. But none of my friends were able to walk around freely though. So it would be I would just go home at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, see, I didn't really have a curfew either. I didn't really have, and that was partially because I never went out somewhere where I needed to have a curfew. I mean, let's be fair. You and I, by the time we were 16, were spending our well at night.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
going out and hanging out in the corner.
Like I had,
So what did we need a curfew for?
I had a friend that
I remember I got in trouble. I did get in trouble a couple times because my dad didn't know where I was because he couldn't get a hold of me. So he gave me a beeper. So that, like, because he forgot I was supposed to be babysitting one night until late. So when I got home, he was pissed off. He was so mad. I was like, I was babysitting. He's like, who are you babysitting for? I'm like, my cousin's friends. We told you about this. I knew about this. He's like, oh, okay. So, like, I had to get a beeper so he could, like,
Find
contact me. That's why I remember when we were 13.
like, well, I had like a friend that lived like 2 houses down, so I would just like walk over there, and then it would just like I'd be at his house till like maybe like midnight, and then I would just like come home. So my parents never like were like, "Why did you come home at midnight last night?" Because I would just be like, "Well, I'm either going to be over there and be awake, or be at home and awake." So like, what I didn't get what the difference was.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." And then like when I got like a little bit older, they kind of just like stopped caring, but nobody else could ever stay out late. So it was always like, well, I'm just going to go home, I guess, because there's nothing else to do. Like, everyone has to go home.
Yeah.
Like,
What's funny is I think my brother actually had a curfew.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he put on a 5 p.m. curfew.
But like when I got
he's being a double.
When I got like my license, I really didn't even have a curfew either, though. It's just like I had to be off the road legally by midnight because I was under the age of 18, and you couldn't drive past midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that was against me, but that really never stopped me, though. I remember going out like after midnight and just going like, just don't get pulled over, just don't get pulled over, and I never got pulled over. So. Whoa.
Yeah, as long as like I told my dad I was going somewhere, and by then I no longer had the beeper. I had a cell phone, like senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And like if I went out, I was either with like my best friend Jessica, or I was with like the guys from my film class because we were making a movie. So it's like if you really need me, I have my cell phone.
Yeah, and then like.
But. I'm working on a school project. I'm not like out partying or anything.
Or like you could have gone to like an 11 o'clock movie, and you're gonna be home at like 1:30.
I don't think my dad would have gone for that.
But
I also wouldn't have thought to do that. Like I was not the kid thinking to do that kind of stuff. My brother was. Like I remember, my brother was probably in 7th grade. Yeah, he was in 7th grade, and there was like a school dance, and the dances ended at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that seemed really late back then, but now I'm like, it's probably not as late as I think it is. And I remember we went to pick him up from one, and he's like, Mom, can I have money? Can I go hang out with my friends downtown? And my mom was like, oh, hell no, get your ass in the car. I don't want to know what you think you need money for this late at night and where you think you're going downtown. You are not hanging out with that kid anymore.
Damn.
So, yeah. See, I was the kid. I just didn't, like, do that kind of thing. And then there's my brother who was totally down to do something and get busted.
Yeah,
So.
I don't. Yeah, I never had those issues. So like I could pretty much just do whatever I wanted, but I put like a guideline on my own self, so it always just worked.
Yeah.
And then like eventually I was like 18, and I was like, I don't have to. I can do what I want now, legally.
Yeah.
So then it was just kind of like, oh, okay. Like now I'm just like, it's like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go out. I'm like, I just want to be in bed.
Like, there got to be a point where I was just like, why would you want to get ready to go out, like, this late? I'd be like, oh, my God. The times I think about how late I would go out, I'm like, that sounds exhausting. Like, to go out to college night, it didn't start until, like, 10.
And that was, like, the beginning.
So,
that was when there was no, like, just a few people there.
Yeah, so everybody starts getting ready around, like, 9:30. starts to like fill up about 10:15 because you only have the short amount of time though because the bar closes at like 2.
Yeah.
So you just have like that small period where things are hopping.
I'm always like, why don't we go out at like 6 o'clock, have fun, and be home by 11?
Yeah. Like, why can't we just like go get a couple cocktails and then we're home in bed by 11 to watch the news or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, you're home at like 10, and then you're like in bed at 11. You need like the hour to like chill. I don't know.
Yeah, like when I go to a late movie and I come home and I'm just like, oh my god. Oh god, it's midnight. We just got home. This is torture. And this is someone, and I'm someone who is like a night owl. I stay up until like at least midnight.
But you want to
usually
be like
1 or 2.
You want to be in your comfort zone. You want to dwell.
Yeah.
Like kind of like an owl. You just kind of like sit on your perch, and
I kind of just want to be like on my chaise lounge seat on my sectional with my laptop.
the
Just,
TV
like,
on in the near distance.
Yeah.
You need a cat.
My headphones on for the TV.
I think
Pretty much.
I think you need a cat. You need like 4 of them.
Oh god, no. All day long I would hear the crashing sound of something being thrown off a shelf.
Oh yeah, probably. Like that liquor bottle that's way up on that top shelf right there, that would be gone.
Oh yeah.
You're looking at your screen like...
Oh my god. I totally forgot, yeah.
You
the
wouldn't
gingers and...
You wouldn't have a lava lamp anymore.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a lava lamp. All the dolls would be gone.
Yeah. No Pringles.
Like, high they are. They go like all the way up the shelf.
So, what is your final take on this episode of Full House, or just Full House in general?
Well, for this episode, it's just like your basic episode. It's a slightly very special episode. Because there's the danger of getting in a car with kids you don't know. But it's still like just a cheesy Full House episode.
Yeah, you have like the hug it out moment. You have like the just as bad like second storyline going on. Everyone's involved. Basically, all the cast members are involved. You got the...
There's like a lesson to be learned from both storylines. So...
Yeah, it was, to be honest with you, it was like kind of hard to get through. I haven't seen Full House in a long time.
Yeah, see, Full House is still super popular. I never watch it on Nick at Night.
Yeah,
never. I will watch it on Nick at Night. I might watch How I Met Your Mother, depending on the time and which episode it is. But I'm not like, oh, I just have to watch Full House. I'd rather go and find an episode of I Dream a Genie.
Yeah, see, I think it's been at least like 15 years since I last saw Full House, so this was like, I was like, wow, this is a lot worse than I thought. Because, I don't know, like, I thought it would have been funnier.
You have to be prepared for it to be just like super saccharine, super sweet, and cheesy, and there's a lesson, and they hug it out, and it's all good, and it's just like, really? Why am I watching this?
And they brush over a lot of things, too. Like, I really felt like they should have focused more on Stephanie's storyline and, like, the second plot line involving Michelle in the video game and the adults. Like, they should have shoehorned that horn, like, shoehorned it into, like, another episode. I don't know, like, and just maybe picked something, I don't know. It just kind of, it was like a distraction, the Michelle plotline.
Yeah. Felt like 2 episodes that they kind of just smushed together.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was just, they were playing darts, and it was like, Michelle plays video games, Stephanie gets in a car with boys. All right. Like, that was like the storyline
like,
darts.
Like, what are our ideas? Throw the darts.
All right, we got our next episode. Everyone. All right, so...
Well, wasn't there was the show, there was, oh, you know what? There was an episode, Growing Pains, where I want to say Ben has this dream that his life is a TV show, and he goes into the writer's room, and there's a dartboard where they pick, like, where they have, like, maybe it's one dartboard or it's, like, sectioned off between the three kids, and, like storyline on it, like, stapled to it, so they throw a dart to get the storyline for the week.
Awesome.
I just remember that just hit me.
So looking ahead, so next time, should we stay in the 90s or should we hit the 70s up? I feel like it's been a while since we've last been in the 70s.
Oh gosh, yeah, it has been a while since we were last in the 70s.
But we're also creeping up onto Halloween.
Yes, we are.
So
We haven't been in the 70s in a long time. A really long time. Not since not since WKRP in Cincinnati.
I was gonna say, I think it's gonna be the very beginning of our podcast, which is about a year old.
Might be something else, but no, because that 70s show is a 90s show. So yeah, we gotta pick something from the 70s, possibly Halloween related. I don't know if that's possible.
It's okay if we'll get as close to Halloween related as we can.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fun thing.
I'm sure All in the Family must have done a Halloween episode at some point in time.
Maybe.
Or Sanford and Son.
Maybe, yeah.
Are you doing your...
Like, it wouldn't be like a 90s kind of Halloween episode where it's like takes place at Halloween. Where Halloween's like this big deal. It might be more of a Halloween is there, like you just have trick-or-treaters kind of thing.
Like it
You know
just
what I'm
happens
saying?
to be Halloween at this time of this episode.
Yeah. Exactly. It just happens to be Halloween. Ooh. I have an idea.
What's that?
From 1977, if we can find a copy, Halloween is Grinch Night.
Okay. I totally know that, and I believe it's on YouTube. I just found it.
Okay.
Alright, so we're doing a special. Last year we did...
on.
The full episode is on the full episode of Halloween is Grinch Night is on YouTube.
Sweet.
So last year we did the Garfield Halloween special, which is like our biggest YouTube episode, I believe.
Yeah, it is hugely popular on YouTube. It's
So-
like insanely popular.
We're gonna
Every time I go to look at the numbers, I'm like, who are you people? Why are you like searching in August?
So we're gonna do Halloween is Grinch Night. Look for it on YouTube. And as always, until next time.
Bye.